YouTube, what's up guys? For today's tutorial, we're gonna be doing a mid-fade comb over haircut. It's gonna be on this 2-month quarantine transformation. You know, my guy hasn't gotten a cut in a minute. So we're gonna start off the haircut tutorial by doing our first guideline from the corner of his hairline, and we're gonna dip it back towards his occipital bone. So that should be the first step of any haircut, is setting your first guideline or cleaning the space that you're working with. So the reason why I started this haircut this way, I just like making Instagram videos out of this YouTube content, so it gives me more ability to reach more people and really put my work out there. I mainly do the Instagram though because it really helps my business grow when I create these videos. It's really important if you're a barber out there that you use your resources, you're using social media to leverage your attention so you can reach more people. The reason and how this has been able to help my business is, you know, the more people that I can reach in my city, the more views that I can get, and the more that my videos can get on top of hashtags of nearby cities, that's gonna allow people to find me way faster. So whenever somebody searches up, you know, Santa Ana Barber or Orange County Barber, my videos are gonna pop up and my pictures are gonna pop up. So that means that I'm gonna be the first one that they hit up. So that's just a little gem for you guys to take into consideration when making Instagram content. Just make it look as satisfying as possible, post consistently, and make sure that your hashtags correlate to, the area that you live in. Also guys, when you guys place your first guideline, the occipital bone is just the bone that protrudes from the back of the head. That's where I place my guidelines when I do my mid-fade haircut with no hooks. So it's typically a slightly higher fade, and the reason why I aim it towards the occipital bone is because every single client will have a different head shape and head size. So the length is going to vary of your mid-fade guideline, the first guideline. So this next step that I'm using is just a little scooping method with the comb. And the reason why I do this is because if I would have gone in straight like that without using the comb, I wouldn't be able to control the weight on the side of the head. So this is just for control, and so I can aim it towards his parietal ridge area. The parietal ridge area is the corner of his hairline, and it's a straight line towards the back of his cowlick. So it's where the head rounds on the side, and you guys can see there I'm leaving everything dark where his parietal ridge area is at. So that's another thing that you guys have to take into account. Every single client is going to have a different ridge, a different length of the ridge. So according to that person's head shape and head structure, you're going to have to structure these guidelines accordingly. Just because my guideline might seem a little bit larger, and you might get a client that has a slightly smaller head, that might mean that you might have to adjust the guideline. Don't take this tutorial, to heart to the point where you feel like you have to do everything exactly the same. You have to adjust to your client. So that's another key that you guys have to take, guys. So I'm just gonna do this other side, and I'm gonna scoop out, and once I'm done scooping out, I'm just gonna hit it with the 3-guard to make sure that everything is nice and even. So the good thing about my client here is that whenever I use the trimmer, it almost leaves everything completely bald. So I just went in with the shaver really fast and I created that bald transition, and we're going in and we're creating our first guideline, our real guideline, with the lever open. It's about a finger's length of thickness. You guys can see there. I go in one time and then I go and I start redefining the area and just making sure that everything is nice and even, because consistent guidelines are going to ultimately yield consistent results. So we've set our first guideline. The next step is we're going to create a similar transition with the 1-guard with the lever open. The lever open is when the lever's all the way down, as you guys can see there. And I'm creating another guideline that's a finger's length of thickness. I like using different fading systems. It just keeps me it keeps me going, guys. Doing the same thing over and over gets boring. So just by doing these 2 consistent guidelines, I can see that my work is going to be nice and even. So by creating these consistent guidelines, I can go in and redefine the areas to make sure that there's no lighter or darker spots in the fade. So before I start blending out, I'm just gonna redefine the area like I told you guys. It's super important that you guys make sure that your first guideline is set evenly throughout the whole head. So I just go in one time just to kind of retouch the area so I can go in and start blending. So we're gonna put our lever in the middle and we're gonna hit the guideline in the middle. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in for you guys for this step so I can show you guys and demonstrate what it means to be in the middle. You guys can hit the beginning of the guideline, but you guys can't go past the middle part. So we're gonna do the middle, open, close method. So by hitting the guideline in the middle, we can go a little bit higher every single time. And you guys see there, I'm putting the lever again in the middle. So I'm gonna hit it in the middle and you guys are gonna see me move my thumb and I'm gonna move it down and I'm gonna open it one notch, go a tiny bit higher. And then you guys see me there move my thumb. Whenever you guys see me move my thumb, it means that I'm putting the lever on an open position. So I'm gonna start again. I'm gonna repeat it for you guys. Lever in the middle and we're gonna hit the guideline in the middle. You see I work in zones. I'm working in zones. I work first on that right side portion of the head and then I work on this portion of the head. So by doing the same techniques, the same methods, you guys are gonna guarantee consistent results. See, I'm just opening. I'm opening little by little by little and I'm going higher into the guideline until my lever is completely open. So repeat this step on both sides of the head and then we're gonna blend out the line on top. We're working this fade from bottom up. So now that we've erased that guideline, we're gonna grab our one guard, close the lever, baby tap it, open it one more time, go a little bit higher into the fade, open it one more time, go a little bit higher into the fade, and then keep repeating that step until your lever is completely open, guys. In this step, we're just softening up the guideline because by doing this, it's not gonna erase the guideline completely. We're gonna need 2 steps to erase the second guideline. So just stay consistent with your strokes and just keep repeating this step. So on the next step, we can use our 0.5 guard. What we just did, guys, is it's considered the close to open method. We're gonna do the same thing on this step with our 0.5 guard. We're gonna start with the lever closed and just baby tap the beginning of the guideline and then just keep opening up the lever little by little as we go higher into the fade. But in this step, you guys want to keep into account the 0.5 fading zone. It's the area that you guys can actually reach with the 0.5 guard. You guys don't want to go all the way up. You guys only have about half a finger of room to work with because the one guard with the lever open was a full finger. So we're giving ourselves half that length to work with this 0.5 guard. This is what connects your whole fade together. You guys want to make sure that you guys are using the corners of your clippers when doing this step. You guys can really mess up the fade if you guys aren't careful, and you guys can mess up the contrast. So just make sure you guys stay consistent, and on the next step we're going to do the same thing with the 1.5 guard, the close to open method. So we're gonna add the 1.5 guard and we're gonna do the close to open method. So the reason why I like doing the close to open method after the first guideline is because I get to control how much darkness I can leave on the fade. So you might also be asking me, how many times do I need to open or close the lever? Just make sure that you guys are at least opening or closing it 4 times until you guys repeat the process of the close to open method. So by what I mean by that also is, if you start with it closed, as you keep opening the lever, you guys have to open it at least 4 times until it's completely open. and then you just repeat the steps over and over until your guideline completely erases. So if you guys don't have a Babyliss Gold FX, you guys have to use the same method on different clippers. Other clippers don't have little notches on the side that can allow you to maintain consistent pressure when using your lever system. They say complexity is the enemy of execution. So just by keeping things simple, you're gonna allow yourself to execute this haircut to the best of your abilities. Just take the front of the hair and we're gonna create that base. The left side is gonna be a little bit longer than the right side, so it creates that shape of the comb over, and we're just gonna drag that first guideline all the way towards the back of the head. So by placing a comb in the middle of your client's forehead, you can ensure that you get a different perspective of the final outcome of the lineup. Because after doing and working on the lineup for so long, you guys might think that it's straight, but by placing your comb in the middle, you guys are going to be able to identify any mistakes in your haircut. This is the before, guys, and this is the after. You guys see, by going the extra mile and really making that lineup nice and crisp, it just makes the haircut just stand out. That part, how I formed the shape of the scissor cut, it just makes everything flow like a nice natural comb over. So if you guys enjoyed this education, if you guys like the content on my channel, make sure you guys hit that sub button. Make sure you guys like and comment, and let me know what you guys want to see next and what I can do to better my content. What's up, guys? Thank you for watching my video. We're about to hit 3,000 subscribers. I really appreciate all the support that I've been getting in this channel. I've been cutting hair actively for about 2 years now. I dropped out of Cal State Long Beach almost 2 years ago in June 18th. I think that was the day that I dropped out of Cal State Long Beach. I started off with almost no clientele. I was charging $15 to $20 right off the bat, and you know, I started 2 years ago, and now I'm charging $50 for a haircut, $60 with the beard. My Instagram grew a fairly good amount. We're about like at 40,000 followers. Started with 0. If you guys have any questions on YouTube, Instagram, how to get your prices up, how to charge more, how to get more followers on Instagram, drop down some questions down below. On the next video, I'll be answering them, and I'll be featuring all the comments, and then I'll be answering the questions on my next video. So expect me to jump on here every single video now. Appreciate you guys, man. I really do. Hit the thumbs up, share this channel with anybody that you think that, fuck, this is fucking heavy.